Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for another day that we can come here and be able to listen to these amazing talks and to be able to listen to this amazing music. We've come a long way to be able to be here to where we are right now, to be where we're standing right now. Noah's been on an incredible journey through the years to coming up to this day, and it is an absolute blessing to be able to have gotten to know him over these years and to be able to see him to grow to the person that he is now. Lord, you know that it's not easy to be able to be up the front here, but I know that you'll make all of your words his words, and I pray that you would calm all of his nerves and to be able to have all of us be able to walk out of here with a new and another lesson. I pray that you'll be able to just make all of those words just flow out of his mouth, Lord. And I pray all of these things in your name. Amen.
Thank you. So yeah, all of you probably know by now, my name's Noah. So weird. I thought like one day I might end up being up here, but I didn't actually think I was going to be up here. Anyway, I'm just gonna say another prayer again. Dear Lord, please be with me and speak through me, Lord. Please help this story to reach people that it might resonate with, and thank you for giving me this chance to share my story. In your name, amen. Have you ever been through stuff, like circumstances in life that you just can't see a way out of? Have you ever thought that there is no one around to help you when you're going through some particularly hard things? Do you ever wonder if God is with you in those times? So, my mum used to be in this pretty bad relationship. It was kind of like an on and off, abusive, verbally and physically relationship. And this one night it was particularly bad, and we had to pack the car to prepare to sleep there for the night. And Mum's driving around, and we don't really know what to do. So I try to convince Mum to report it to the police, and we end up driving and parking outside the police station. And she doesn't really want to go inside because she's scared of what he will do if she reports him. But I eventually convince her to go inside, and they take some statements, and then later that night us and several other police officers park outside a nearby gas station, and they go in and go for the arrest. And we're waiting in the gas station and don't really know what's going to happen, hoping for the best. And one police officer comes back and tells us that they got him and we can go home. Most people don't know this. I don't tell many people, but as you could probably tell, I have some family issues. When I think about the theme and people in the Bible that inspire me because of what they went through, I can relate to the story of Joseph. So just to summarize, people who don't know the story of Joseph, Joseph was a favored son of 11 brothers. They became jealous of him because of favoritism and a specifically fancy coat and his ability to interpret dreams. His brothers threw him in a hole, sold him to slave traders, and told their dad that he was killed by wild animals. So he had some toxic family issues. I resonate with Joseph in many ways through tough things that were thrown in his way. I was never sold as a slave. I was never like a ruler of a nation. But just like Joseph, I really love my family. But it hasn't always been easy. And at times, stuff got pretty messy. Some of the things that me and my family have gone through. The divorce of my parents. I don't know all the reasons why my parents were divorced, but I remember that I needed to hang out with the neighbors' kids while they were arguing all the time. And a couple years later, my dad finding out that he has melanoma, which is skin cancer, and him having to get some pretty gruesome surgery to get it removed. So basically, they found some skin cancer in his lip. He had to get it cut out, big triangle, and then they cut out a bit of the bottom lip and replaced it with the top lip, and then sewed it all shut with only a little hole peeping through, so you can like have smoothies and stuff. And Seth and I had to go stay with him and feed him through a straw and chop up little pieces of food so he can chew, because he was missing chewing and stuff like that. So yeah, that was kind of hard. And last year, when we had to escape from my mum's boyfriend, was not the first time he was abusive. Pretty much since the very beginning, he was toxic in our family and was often in and out of prison. Whenever he was out of prison, he would bring fear into our home. We had to call the police on him a couple of times. He mostly brought fear through screaming, threatening to hurt someone, or sometimes threatening to take his own life. And whenever he went back to prison, Seth, Eve, my little sister, and I would have to go visit him. When I was around 16, not so long ago, when my dad broke his neck, then found out that his cancer didn't get removed properly and it spread to his nervous system. He had to go on some cancer treatment, and it really threw him around, and Seth and I had to go stay with him, try and make his life not as bad. Then as a side effect of his cancer in the nervous system, he got Tourette's, which is basically like a tic. It's not very fun. And then, obviously, I didn't want my mum to be with her boyfriend, and I was hoping that this would eventually all be over, right? Their relationship. But that hope kind of went away when we found out that Mum and him were pregnant. This toxic situation continued still, as you heard in my introduction. But now the boyfriend is back in jail, and Mum, I believe, is hopefully done with him for good. But that doesn't mean everything is easy. Now I have to look after Eve, which is our little sister. She's 2. While Mum's at work. I love my little sister and I'm glad to help my mum out, but it's hard because it means I don't get much time to work on my schoolwork, or I fall behind on assignments. I know how it feels when things just seem to go from bad to worse. I really like how Joseph just decided in his mind to make the best of the bad situations he faced. When he was in jail, he didn't sit around and whinge. He just made himself useful, served others, and took on a leadership role. He did the best he could in the bad situations he was in, and in turn, God used him. So yeah, it was true that things seemed to go from bad to worse in Joseph's life, but it's not how the story ended. Right at the end of the story, when Joseph was reunited with his brothers, he had been placed as second in charge of the whole of Egypt. And he said to his brothers, which he said something pretty powerful when you think about it, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it all for good. He brought me to this position so I could save the lives of many people." Can you see what he was trying to tell his brothers? He could see that at the end, there was a purpose beyond his pain. Purpose beyond his mess. This is not saying that God caused the problems. His brothers did right. His brothers did right. They caused the problems. But God not only spared Joseph and helped him, he also had a plan for him. In other words, God didn't allow the decisions that Joseph's family made. Impact him badly in his life. God helped Joseph overcome his circumstances and had a plan for him. Like Joseph, the tough times haven't made me drown, although sometimes they were close. I'm still here in TVAC, Year 12, And I know this probably sounds a bit weird, but I don't find my life as hard as the people who know my life think it is. What am I up to right now? I also know that I should be closer to God than I currently am. But in spite of that, I know that God has my back and has always kept me and has a plan for me, just like Joseph. I know God will not let the bad decisions of others destroy the plans he has for me in my life. What about you? What are you going through right now? Maybe you can't see out the other side of the struggle, but I want to remind you today that with God, we are unsinkable. He can bring light out of the darkness. He holds on to us. Whatever it is, the mess or the difficulty you're in, you can make it through. Thanks. Yeah. Let's just get the band up.
Turn your eyes upon Jesus. Look full in His wonderful face, and the things of earth will go strangely dim in the light of His glory and grace. In the light of His glory and grace.
Is this on? There we go. All right, I'm just going to pray for everyone. Dear Lord, please be with those here today that are struggling. Please help them to stay afloat. Please be their little floaties in that kiddie pool, and please help them to stick with you and to not drown. And thank you that we can all be here today to worship you, and thank you. In your name, amen.